Perstia. There was intended to be a side quest I was going to give you guys, and I'll give it to you now just to see how you guys respond to it. But basically, it's a noble, Perstia, and his wife is accusing him of having an affair.
And what are we supposed to do?
He wants you to find... He divulges the truth to you guys, and because he doesn't know where the fucker is, he has I can never pronounce it right, a simulacrum of himself that is having sordid affairs. Because the thing is, the simulacrum's not what he is, but the simulacrum looks exactly like him. So he's like, I need you to find him and bring him back.
That is a...
So that was going to be a side quest.
I love this.
You have to find his clone and be like, bring him back. I don't know where he went.
This is some Black Mirror ass shit.
You guys eventually do find the simulacrum. He's infinitely more charismatic and charming and flirtatious than his original counterpart.
Took all of the charm right with him.
Yeah, took all the charm right with him. Yeah, it was what happens when you don't got the old ball and chain, you know what I'm saying? I'm kidding.
Please tell me he doesn't
Mostly.
talk like that.
No, he doesn't actually talk like that.
That's why he's so charismatic and gets so much, you know, that you
Exactly. Hey, boo-boo. Anyways. So yeah, that was a side quest. No, not to the one that I have to actually discussing it terribly much, but I just wanted to know, you guys went on that side quest of who done it, or who done who, or whatever. Stuff like that.
Anyway.
Let's see. Anything else I wanted to sneak in Perstia? You guys encounter a wing of Perstia, which is entirely its own separated, segregated area. Not segregated as in a racial segregation, but it's sort of left to its own devices. And when asked about the place, every guard, every local, everyone remarks that place is weird.
And that's it?
They say it's just filled with gangs.
Oh.
2 gangs. And when you guys go there, it's the equivalent of watching the Bloods versus Crips neighborhood. One side is heavily decorated in red, and the other side is heavily decorated in blue.
Hmm.
And there's a single bar in the middle. And if you guys go inside that bar, the bar is split down the middle. For each side.
It's not purple?
It's not purple, no. It's just one side's blue and one side's red.
Do we want to fuck with this or no?
The locals just just leave it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's just one bit.
If Owen wasn't dying, then sure.
The lead into this is that you do see that there's 3 gang leaders, 2 for the red side, 1 for the blue side. They have guns, actual guns, and you guys don't know what a gun is, so it just interests you.
Very gangs of New York.
Yeah.
I was thinking that.
Alright, that's my friends came out of the way, so I could check that off and tell them to fuck off and stop asking me about it. So moving on. Yeah, Perstia is a town of immense technological advancement. That's sort of the benefit of living next to the maestros. What does that mean? I mean, they don't really have street lamps that have to get lit. I'm talking they have basically electricity and stuff like that. Albeit it's not called electricity; it's more magical. What was the word? I think it's called a Manax. Manax is the form of unit of measurement for raw magical energy and stuff like that. So yeah, something based along those lines. But yeah, the nobles of this place are technologically advanced. As detailed, that was one of the reasons why the quest was going to be given to you, is that the nobles have body doubles to accomplish day-to-day tasks, like having a simulacrum.
It's not a completely...
Usually they're a bit more kept under control. That's noted. Oh well.
What?
If you guys follow that thread, the simulacrum got loose because a maestro student fancied the noble, but the noble's already married. So she went for the next best thing. Anyways, moving on. Ironic, because it broke her heart. Oh, the irony. Careful what you wish for. She also got expelled from the fucking academy.
Sucks
So
to suck, nerd. Can we meet her?
yeah.
Can we say hi to her? Tell her that she made terrible life decisions.
she's somewhere on the Heartlands.
Yeah.
But yeah, you guys go to the Maestro's Academy. Actually, no. Do you guys go to the Accord first, or do you go to the Academy first?
They're
like right next to each other. All things considered, again, just a couple hours walk. But I'm just wondering which would you do first.
Seema lead.
Or 9-7 pick? Alright, Seema, I guess you're...
I guess let's go to the Maestros first, because I want to have Owen not die.
I mean, I guess.
Yeah, at this point, Owen is... At this point of travel, Owen is basically unconscious for most of the time down here. He's like in the car.
Yet.
I mean, exactly. He doesn't even know what's going on. So like,
yeah. So might as well go.
He's chilling. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Connor, Nevi, and Ariana just are basically doing assorted measures to keep him painless as well as unconscious for when he doesn't need to be conscious. Like Owen will wake up on his own accord here and there,
but they'll just put him back on.
Well, if he's not if it need to get fed or anything like that, then yeah, they basically just just keep him down under for the time being. With the times he is awake, Owen describes when he's not awake and under some sort of painkiller, be it magic or alchemical. Owen describes his being as under this is sort of like torture, isn't it? His blood feels like it's boiling. His skin feels like it's being pricked with shards of glass, stuff like that. He's mentally. There's apparently this is an actual medical disorder where he feels like he's a pane of glass about to shatter.
Mm.
I know this because apparently one of the kings of France had this disorder, and he attacked his own knights, freaking out about it. And then when he finally went, they finally calmed him down, he said he felt like he was a pane of glass.
Yeah, he removed windows and mirrors and shit from his place, I believe.
Probably. But yeah, apparently it's an actual medical thing, and it's also feels under aggress. So, you guys take him to the Maestros. When you guys get to the Maestros, you're greeted by a amiable young Journey Ken. Would it be Journey Ken? No, not Journey Ken. Touchstone. It's only 4 ranks. There's Novice, Touchstone, Journey Ken, Maestro. So she's on the second run. That's not to say that, it's like college. It's not like freshman, sophomore, junior. It's more like 95% of the population of the students are novices. 3-4% are touchstones, and the remaining 1% is Journeyken. Good stuff. Yeah, you guys are greeted by a touchstone. Nice, chipper young woman. Very prim, very proper. And she is basically your guys' liaison during your guys' time at the Maestros. She guides you around. She's your tour guide. The peculiar thing about her is because you need sponsorship from a Maestro to get to the next status. So who sponsored you as Touchstone? Maestro Jean. I'm sorry, could you say that again?
Many alarms.
Maestro Jean. Huh. Wait a second. Something doesn't sit right here. And as you guys are wondering this, Maestro Jean appears eating an apple. He actually sort of sneaks up while you guys are just sort of sitting down. Chetamere is he does it to you. He's well, actually, he probably does it to Marsh. Man, all this magic stuff, huh? It's crazy.
Yeah, but the better part is
I know, right? I've never felt more out of place.
Yeah, I never get magic.
You made him magic
Apple
broccoli.
grows back.
Also, where the fuck did you come from?
He gave you a wink. I'm always around, silly.
That's highly uncomfortable.
To a degree. I know when you're sleeping. I know when you're awake. So I know when you've been bad or good. So, sake. Santa Claus doesn't exist in this world before you ask.
Damn.
Yeah, I was about to be like, wow, you're just like a bard just coming up with that completely off the cuff, never heard before.
I have actually never heard that before.
Really?
Oh,
Wow.
well now you have.
Well, what's the Journeykin's name? Or not? She was a Journeykin.
Touchstone.
Touchstone. Thank you.
I had it in my head literally 30 seconds ago, and now I forgot it. Give me a second as I look through it.
I have it literally written on my page. Touchstone. Why did I say Journeykin?
Oh my fucking god. That's why I remembered it. That's because this person is in the other campaign too.
Huh.
Her name's Charlotte. Although she doesn't talk in a Hollandic accent. That's why I remembered it.
This is alternative universe version.
All of your perceptions, I guess. Let's see if I can just drive the story of Charlotte, of this version Charlotte to you. Pass.
Perception.
Pass.
At advantage, because I haven't. No, I wouldn't. This is a casual conversation. She wouldn't have it. 25. We are very observant today.
Yeah, it's the opposite of the other games, huh?
Yeah. We'll see. Oh, wow.
Hey!
Yo, boy.
I could give you some minute detail that you know about this Charlotte.
But also time.
Or I could just tell you what's up with Charlotte. This Charlotte isn't a full person. You notice, you guys catch it in the way she moves. She's very precise. She's very methodical. And then as you guys sort of realize it more and more, Jean just sort of gets a forlorn smile on his face, and then he just comes out straight out, tells you the truth, which is very weird for Jean to just be outright with the truth, right? No tricks, no games, no pranks to get to
Which
it.
means it's a very special situation that he's possibly proud of.
Charlotte's the equivalent of a golem, a construct. She's not shackled to any will, though. She's free. And she's powered by a soul that's only hers, originally. But the body you see is just... it's fake. It has the capacity to grow. He's quite proud of that ability. That built-in feature, one might say. But it's not real. Not fully. And he does this out of earshot of her. Going so far as to even, like, let her go in somewhere first. He closes the door, snaps his finger, and you guys can tell that you guys are under some sort of spell. And then he tells you this.
That's absolutely insane.
If it breathes, has a will of its own, grows, then how is it not alive?
There's quite a story with that, let me tell you. Maybe I'll tell you that story at some point, but not now. She's coming back right now. Snaps his finger, undoes the spell.
Well, in the interim, perhaps you can tell me where to start looking for answers. And I point to Owen.
So, the reason why it took Charlotte a decent amount of time, enough time for Jean to tell you the truth about her, is she had to go round up a number of maestros. She didn't really know who the hell you guys were. Flash his fucking maestro necklace, and then she's like, "Oh, welcome back, Maestro Tavish. Have we met?" "No." "Alright. I need..." Gives a list of names. The names he calls out are his old mentor. I have their... There's too many names, this fucking place. Fucking hell. Let's see, so he calls up his old Maestro Ared Siren. He calls up Maestro Felix Liefeld.
My boy.
He calls up Maestro Jastra, the Frijarin. And he calls in Eliza.
Of course he does. Who was the first one you mentioned?
Arid Siren. I can type their name for you if you want to record it.
No, that's fine. You can tell me the spellings later. Oh, that works.
So that I type faster. He also calls in Maestro Gaius. Maestro Artificery. The other Artificer Maestro, other than Jean. Yeah, he calls in Maestro Han as well. Might as well get all friends back. Under the joke of some official business. So, you guys get brought up to a conference room with the according maestros.
God dang it, I just thought of that me and the boys meme.
That's exactly it. I don't need to tell you the surprise and utter joy of Eliza seeing her fiance. Not that the fiance part is publicly known now that I think about it. Her boyfriend being suddenly down south. The boys knew, though. The boys knew.
Of course it did.
They kept it secret from her, though.
Phrasing.
I was about to say, you son of a bitch, stole my line. Visiting someone's downtown.
You guys sort of just pass along Owen to the assorted people. Like, although they're maestros of different things, like Maestro Han is a maestro of illusion magic. Like, they all took a considerable amount of courses just to stay at the maestros, so they all have a... Maybe it might not be their field of expertise or specialty, but they all have a good amount of knowledge, and if nothing else, more brains helps. Maestro Felix is the first to talk about the curse itself. The symptoms Connor recites off as if like they were a grocery list over to Arid. But on the matter of the curse itself, Maestro Felix does speak up. That is quite interesting. I don't think much can be done from our end of things unless you wanted to go into the Feywild and talk to the debt holder and ask for some forgiveness.
It's feasible.
He shrugs. I mean, that's just one avenue I could potentially help you with. Any friend of Connor's is a friend of mine. Maestro's friend, Maestro.
I would describe the passing of my father and all of his symptoms as well, if it provides any clarity.
Well, yeah, this means absolutely nothing to most of the Maestros except him and Yasra. Jasra. It's not J with a Y, it's straight up J. Jasra. Well, the fact that there's nothing in particular about summer or spring or fall or winter means that whoever holds your family's debts is not affiliated for court. It's a wild fairy of some sort. Present company excluding gestures to Anoa. Fairies tend to be pretty blatant with their themes. So, if they were of a summer or winter court, you'd know. Which means finding who owed your debt is that much harder, my friend. It's that much harder. If you go to the courts, it's easy to request something to the courts. Albeit they might not do it, sure, but it's much more centralized, much more formal, much more procedural. But among the Wild Fae, you had to do the looking yourself.
Any other particular options?
Well, I'm afraid I'm not personally versed in curses and the ending of them. Especially not something of this caliber. No, you're going to have to find a... He looks at Noah. Much older fairy than Justice Noah. The lovely lady here, in order to find out the details of the cure.
I'd summon Vanadis into the room and ask if she knows anything.
Whoa. And who is this? He tries to take her hand and give it a kiss. She's incorporeal, so it's all for fucking naught.
The gesture.
But he still does it anyways.
Yeah.
He still does it anyways, even if there's no contact made. And who is this? He says, asking you, Odric.
I gesture for her to introduce herself if she wants to. Her name is call her Vanadis.
We call her Vanadis. Such is my name. When she says that, Felix's eyes like change. Not to like any fairy eyes or anything, but they just change to like just normal eyes to magic eyes, essentially. They're just fueled with
He's looking with his special eyes.
Yeah. My oh my. Do you tell the circumstances of how you came about Vanadis?
Yeah.
Maestro Tavish. Can you read me back those lists of symptoms one more time? I think I caught something peculiar there. Oh my bad. In a Scottish accent.
I had to throw that one in there. It's like, pardon, one correction.
You, my friend, shouldn't bother going to Feywad's to talk for friends. Your boy here describes his skin as being pricked by shards of glass. Your blade friend lady there, a remnant, a piece of the shattered lady that's out there now. I think your debt just got traded to the wrong person.
I lean over to Audric and you should mention the sword that talked to you.
Turn to Marshall. Oh, the scimitar.
I mean, Chenra definitely still has it, and probably used it in the past, unlike I got to.
No.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, sure.
It's
I would mention the scimitar and what happened when we found it.
Yeah, that would certainly explain it. Because the way you describe your father's death is the symptoms, albeit death is obviously the clear end result, are different than what your boy here is experiencing now. So, I told you just now, fairies are very thematic in their punishments. Fairy 1 had her symptoms. Fairy 2, he points out one, has hers.
Well, would you seem knowledgeable? It was originally my intention to restore Vanadis by giving her the fragments and eventually the main fragment itself instead of the other way around. If I did that, would she be able to lift the curse?
Certainly. Although there might be a bit of a clause in your request there, my friend. The original one, quote-unquote original, the main piece as you refer to her, has some form of vessel. I've seen her myself. She can walk on her own. She's not a sword, and she gestures to lay at your side, or anything like that. You want Vanadis here to match that. You need to make her a vessel too. A living, breathing one. And before you ask, I can't help you with that. That's old craft.
That's actually what I wanted to do from the start.
Well, I suggest you find an ancient fairy to ask that to then. I've never gotten the secrets to that. Even amongst all my dealings and everything.
Marshall just loud, audibly groans.
Ah! You get like a slap from Maestro Jasra. Your fellow Frajaran gives you like a slap on the... Shh! And as she slaps you, a part of her back gives way. I don't mean gives way as in like your muscles crump. I mean literally a chunk of you disintegrates into sand in her grip. Grip.
What the fuck?
And she like raises an eyebrow at this and looks down at her hand, which is like still like sand's trickling off of it. And she just looks up at you.
Yeah, ditto.
I'm pretty
Tala's
sure.
like eyes are shot open.
I think that has the room's attention now.
That's the first.
Maestro guys, what in fucking hell is that?
Did that hurt?
It didn't hurt at all. Marshall. Well, no more than it's supposed to, which is, the slap on the back is by a stern older woman. She begins talking to a Frajaran. It's a dialect of Frajaran that you haven't had to bust out in a while. During your time in the Dawn Peninsula, as well as the Exchange, there's a different style of Frajaran you had to speak. It's still Frajaran, don't get me wrong, but it's just a different dialect style. The style she speaks is, well, it's ancient. And it's the one you were first taught. Your native tongue, so to speak.
Ask her what sort of spell she just put on.
I have done no such spell. The spell is you. And she, like, grits the sand in her hand between her fingers, like, just rubbing it. Who are you? Where are you from?
I just,
The spiel.
rapid fire.
The history of much more.
It raises a number of questions. And she says that you all have to discuss this at a later point. She has things to check. And she leaves.
I would say back in comment. I believe we have some fairies to meet.
Gods, I thought that was a weird one.
Who knows? It is something to note that every maestro in the room is surprised. Even the Elven Maestro, John's surprised, even. Because that's the first time any of them has seen Jastra surprised. And then it all sort of clicks in your guys' head. Wait a minute. She's been around here, she's been a maestro for as long as you guys have. Yeah. Even Maestro Siren, the elf. Yeah. Maestro Jastra has been the maestro of the magic theorem field. She's been the archivist for as long as anyone can. Even the people that are hundreds of years old. Weird. Before you guys take a trip into the Feywilds, as eager as you guys are about it, with the exception of O, Valeska does remark, squad's still here, didn't you guys have an Assassin's Club to go attend?
Certainly.
Oh, yes, yeah, we did need to do that. Plus, I certainly probably need some time to make preparations and all that.
Yeah, we should probably.
To send all of you go in, that's gonna take a bit.
Yeah, we should probably go, almost die, or just die in the Assassin's Club before we go and die, or almost die in the Feywilds.
I don't think we have to worry about the assassins unless we start a fight. which means I should probably put weapons in my bag.
I mean, we are going to meet a like magical being who I have a blood feud with, so
Apparently, it's a very reputable place.
Furthermore, if we manage to kill said individual, we would have the, shall we say, toolkit necessary to find my particular thorn.
Cedric does remark to you, Chedamir, that there's no whatever around of open carry inside there.
It's not like to not have a show. It's more so I don't have the temptation to stab someone.
Fair enough.
At the very least, we can go and see what he has to say.
So, does it mean blood then, Sima? Will you kill him when you see him?
not if we're at the place that we're going to.
You could always challenge him.
I think we already kind of have a challenge going, and I think that right now I'm not ready yet, and unfortunately I think he knows that as well.
With that right there, I don't think you will ever get more ready. Point at Voidshare.
Well, he knows where to find me when he's ready.
Sama, you got a flash of divine imagery. It's Karam talking to you.
Da, da, da.
Be careful, Seema. Remember how a guy like him fights duels. And then you get a flash of your mother trying to duel the Shadow Man. And how much of a non-duel it was. It's not a duel when you start breaking the rules. Then it's just a fight.
Yeah, I proceed with caution.
Hey, at any point did it get brought up, like, what our whole purpose is to the Maestros?
I believe, well, let's see. Owen needed to get cured, which you guys have some more definitive answer about the cure. There's a reason the squad wanted to come here now, and they're going to go about doing it, and we'll tell you guys what they're doing when you guys come back from the Accord. It should take a couple hours is all they need.
Before we leave, I'd ask if the Maestros are able to ensure that we will have enough time to, well, more time to end the curse, to do the things we need to do.
Eliza remarks that she can put Owen in a position of stasis. It won't be anywhere pleasant, but he won't be awake for it.
If it keeps him alive, that's our only choice.
Some of them, like a couple of the maestros, just shudder at the suggestion.
Yeah, I think Marshall does the same. For reasons he may not understand.
Eliza is going to be forthright with you. She wants to show you where she's going to store him. She's going to take you to a place in the Meisters called the Deaths. On the way down, it's only her and Connor. No one else wants to come down. Well, Jean as well. The Deaths are... When you're in positions like ours, there's a necessity to stay forthright, stay genuine, stay true to yourself. Some of the information that some of us hold can mean utter destruction. So we ought to help each other stay true. The depths, she opens the door, are the place where we keep those that aren't themselves anymore. As you guys go through the depths, to call it an asylum would be an understatement. There are insane people in here. There are powerful people in here. There are powerful, insane people in here.
Insanely powerful people.
Yes.
Your city.
The depths are maintained by a group of guards that call themselves the Sigil Keepers. Trying to talk with them yields nothing. According to Eliza and Connor, their sole purpose is down here, and no one except Maestros knows about the deaths outside of, certain VIPs, which now includes all of you. If you were to cast Detect Magic in here, you'd probably have to roll a series of saving throws. You'd be flashbanged in mind, eyes, lots of circumstances. Because wherever you walk, there's, true to the Sigil Keeper's titles, there's some sort of magical protection going on. And even to the point, Aldrich, you find a shard of the Shattered Lady Town. Albeit, it's inside a person. Inside a mage. But given the circumstances, they're going to, relieve him of it. Especially when you guys sort of figure that that shard inside of him is giving him his magic power, and he's not trustworthy enough. In-game, this actually would have been a mini-boss. As to how do you neutralize the guy to the point where you carve him open a little bit and take, or just kill him.
I was about to ask, it's like, are they gonna just straight up murder him? And it's like, oh, okay.
Ulrich's no saint. He would do that if extracting he's not a surgeon.
Yeah, the guy's criminally insane to designate him as such, to give him a designation. So you guys give him his proper end and retrieve the shard out of his body. In fairness, maybe he wasn't fully criminal, maybe he wasn't fully insane, because the shard that you get from him is malicious. Luckily, though, you don't need to keep its personality in order to take its power. As you reconnect it with Vanitas. Although, supposed to be fair, Vanitas gives you a sense of bloodlust and things like that, so maybe not entirely out of that neck of the woods, but still.
Can't be corrupted if the starting point is where I would end up.
Exactly. But Owen will be kept in a literal form, a literal stasis room down here. Again, it's not the happiest of places to be kept, but he's unconscious and he's on lock for all of it. So, all's well that ends well, I suppose. Just, hope he isn't awake when you guys have to pull him out of here around the, screaming maniacs.
Small mercies.
Small mercies. You guys...
Before we close the door, I'll just... Even if he's unconscious, I'll just give him a hug and I'll say, rest well. We'll come back for you as soon as we are able. Don't go anywhere.
You hear Eliza from the door, 15 feet away, ask Connor, was he like that the whole trip south? Aye. God's bless you, love. God's bless you. Nevi does give Owen a kiss before you guys close the door as well. says simply that he'll be alright. Then you guys leave. On your guys' way out, at the surface because the depths goes obviously down, that's why it's called the depths. On the surface most cell, you do see Jean looking through some grates at a friend of his, or what you assume to be a friend of his. John is usually always happy. This is one of the few times you ever see him sad, if ever. As you guys come by, he closes the grate. Gives you guys a weak smile. Your boy all iced up? Huh? He'll be safe here, trust me. Made a lot of the sigils here myself.
As we exit, once we've put some distance, I'll ask Maestro Jean how the house is coming along.
You know, I wanted to give you that back in near the spires, but I just straight up forgot. Ah, time has that effect on you. Well, it's ready. Whatever you need it. Got it right here, and he taps the side of his head on his temple.
Now is as good a time as any, I suppose.
Why don't you come up to the artificer wing then?
I do that. I'll tell the others. I'll meet you guys on the way out.
I'm pretty sure you all want to go to the artificer and see all the cool fucking toys at.
I mean, you're not wrong.
It's at this point, like since we're doing this in a hyper narrative style, magical equipment, we're fucking handed the shit out like goddamn candy.
Candy.
Save the world, might as well.
Speaking of which, pull out that staff.
Yeah, that trade-off. Forgot about that. I think we have a number of gadgets of our own to pay you back for that. He brings you guys all into the artificery wing. It's him, Gaius, and a number of novices, as well as some journeyken, and as well as Charlotte. You'll be a journeyken yet, huh, kid? He ruffles her hair. Inside the artificery wing, we have guns in the other campaign, much more conventional guns that use powder and stuff like that. In this artificery wing, however, you get to see Maestro Gaius test the equivalent of a fucking howitzer cannon, albeit magic. Hey, Connor. Hold this. The fuck is this? just pull it. You just told me to hold it, and I'll pull it. Well, now pull it. Guys, I'm not a fucking idiot. It's attached to that thing there.
I pulled the string for him.
Yeah, to the wall's credit, you know, it didn't get destroyed, but also to the wall's, you know, discredit, it was specifically designed to be like, I don't know, let's see, like, probably a couple dozen feet thick. So it's like this giant block of
How far does it make it?
It makes it probably like, I don't know. Imagine like a cylinder, like a conic, cone. Just etch it into like a piece of Play-Doh. It probably goes in. Probably doesn't. Solid stone.
That's pretty far.
Yes, but how much damage could it actually do to a person?
You hit the person of this thing, and they ain't gonna be no person anymore.
My ears are.
Oh, really? What would you bet on that?
You raise an eyebrow at this? I ain't shooting you. I ain't shooting any one of you with this thing. And to reinforce that fact, I ain't gonna tell you how to load it. You only had one shot in it.
That's probably for a good idea. That's probably the best idea.
Get your stupid fancy guns aside, move aside. I have a Fey house to show off. The thing he makes, actually, it's more than a house for Vanadis. It can house you guys, too, if you so choose to. You have to be somewhere with nature, though. There has to be some sort of green, verdant vegetation. So you can't do this in the middle of a fucking cave. But if you're somewhere in the forest, in the swamp, wherever, it's something of a pocket dimension in between Mortal Realm and Feywilds. And takes from both of those sides.
Interesting.
Ooh, I like it.
He tells you, Aldrich, that along the lines of making a vessel, as Felix put, this is something like that. In between, it does make Vanadis a bit more corporeal, but it's not permanent. It's very ephemeral. It's it's the equivalent of throwing a blanket over a ghost. You know, like doesn't really do much, but you can sort of say the ghost now. Stuff like that.
Fake it. Where's my death roll? Dang, I lived. I lived your pun.
I didn't see it, and I have the chat open.
Feels bad.
Anyways, so yeah, you guys get geared. You guys trade a number of things to the Artificer Ring. They're not really eager about keeping it, but they are happy to deconstruct and figure out how they work. Reverse engineering.
Do what you do, boss. We just want the cool shit.
And you get the cool shit. Eventually, though, you guys have to go to the Accord. And you guys go there.